Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are live streaming on YouTube and we are in the Zoom room as well. Do us a favor when you enter the room, if you could type in exactly where you're watching from. We have a 60-second timer and then our event will be live shortly. All right, welcome online, ladies and gentlemen. We're here today to do the Neumi opportunity overview, and I can see people are logged in from New Zealand, Indonesia. We're open in 72 countries, so there are people online from America, Canada, right around the world. So it's a truly international presentation. Now, with that in mind, I'm just going to share a quick audio for those people who do not speak fluent English so that you can follow along with captions at the very same time.
Untuk mengaktifkan terjemahan bahasa Indonesia, silakan klik caption di panel laptop atau handphone Anda semua.
Para poder obtener la traducción en español, es necesario hacer clic en el menú de Zoom y elegir la opción Subtítulos en español.
大家好，如果你想看字幕，请按屏幕底下的 CC 按钮，选择中文。此功能仅适用于直播。
Bonjour, bienvenue à cet événement Neumi. Vous pouvez activer les sous-titres dans votre langue en cliquant sur Sous-titres au bas de l'écran. Veuillez noter que cette option fonctionne uniquement dans la salle Zoom en direct. Merci et bonne écoute.
大家好，如果你想看字幕，請按屏幕底下嘅 CC 按鈕選擇中文。呢個功能淨係適用於直播。
Okay, welcome online, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Firth, one of the founding Field Advisory Board members who helped start this beautiful company called Neumi. And it's my pleasure to be today doing this particular event segment so we report and put it into our app so that there's consistent presentation with all the updated materials, including our brand new Neuro product. Now, before I get into the presentation, what I'd like to do is just give you a little bit of my background, because I don't know about you, but when I'm watching a presentation, often I'm thinking to myself, who is this person? I don't know them. How do I know they're qualified to talk on this particular topic? So to take you back, about 16, nearly 17 years ago now, I was a national sales coach in the Australian New Zealand mortgage market, which meant I was mentoring and coaching about 2,500 mortgage brokers on how to grow a business. And I loved my job with a passion. I really worked my way through the corporate world to the top of the corporate world into that role. But you know what I found? It wasn't as appealing as I first realized as I went through that journey. When I got to the top, I realized that I had great money, but I had no time. And so eventually my 2 children, I was divorced, my kids were quite young, and I was looking for options, thinking, you know, I'm always, my daughter said, we hardly see you anymore. And that's what happens to people in the corporate jobs, doesn't it? So I decided to look around, and someone came to me and asked me if I would look at an opportunity relating to a product that had an ingredient called glutathione. Now, if you don't know what that is, you will by the end of the presentation. But effectively, I had a look at that. I don't make any wild claims. I took this amazing product back then, 16, 17 years ago, had an amazing result. And I got the word out through friends of friends. And about 2 years later, I had the same sort of an income that I had at the top of the corporate world, but I was working about 20% of the time that I was in that job. So I became sold on home-based business from that day forward. Having said that, interesting that, let me just change my speaking language. Someone is just changing it to Indonesian. I'll make mine English. There we go. And having said that, what's the relevance of that company to Neumi? Well, I met an amazing gentleman in that company called Stephen K. Scott. And you're going to hear about him today because he was the founder of that company. And he's also the founder of Neumi. So long story short, about 6 years ago, Steve reached out to me and said, hey, I'm looking for investors for a brand new breakthrough. And I said, how can I help? And I helped him find one of the investors, one of the biggest ones, who's based out of here in Australia. So I'm in the beautiful Sunshine Coast in Australia, but my business through Neumi now spans across every continent of the globe. And the success story of Neumi in the last 3 years since Neumi started officially is unbelievable. We are one of the talk of the town of the whole industry worldwide in terms of home-based business. So with that in mind, let me get into the presentation. Let me just swap slides from what we had a second ago to get into this set of slides for today's presentation, which has disappeared from my screen. There it is. Okay, so let's get into it. All right. So firstly, before we get into the presentation, I want to make sure that everybody's well aware that we have no claims that we're making about income. An income disclosure statement basically says, hey, this is an opportunity. And earnings are based on individual effort, commitment, sales skills, even market conditions can vary. So that means income will vary from person to person, and there's no specific amount of income that everyone will mirror because of different factors that are in the market. But it's an opportunity and the most lucrative one I've ever known. And I've been in home-based business for 38 years and nothing comes close to what you're about to see. In terms of the products, our products are not designed to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any conditions, medical conditions or diseases. And you won't hear disease names come out of the mouth of Neumi members because that's not what we're about. We're going to talk about nutrition that can help the body do exactly what it does when it's at its optimal. And that's the key. So our mission is to empower our members to become the best versions of themselves in all areas of their lives. And how do we do that? We do it through three things. Number one, vision, then innovation, and execution. So we're going to base the whole presentation around those things. So let's kick off with vision. The greatest visionary I've ever known as a friend is this gentleman here, Stephen K. Scott. I mentioned a bit about him before. If you don't know Steve, you've been touched by some of his businesses in your life, I'll guarantee you. He has spent his whole life searching for breakthrough products and purchasing the rights exclusively to those breakthroughs and then marketing them on television. He was one of the most respected television personalities in terms of infomercials in the world, having sold over $4 billion. And one of the most known on the screen there is Total Gym. You've probably seen Christy Brinkley, Chuck Norris with the Total Gym, went across the world in pretty much every country. Now, his success dwarfed everyone else in infomercial history because one of his strategies was he wouldn't market anything. He would only market what we call a breakthrough product. And a breakthrough product is something that does things nothing else can do more efficiently and more effectively and economically as well. So you'll see that as we go through today. Steve is also a best-selling author, a New York Times best-selling author, having written books all around the world on amazing topics. And after 30 years in working in the health and beauty industries, Steve was ready to retire until he found the biggest breakthrough of his entire life. And that's the one we talked about he needed investors for 6 years ago, which helped to do. And then boom, we launched. We then brought on Aaron Rennett 3 years ago when we launched the company, and you can see his history as a CEO in this industry. He took a particular company into 37 countries over 13 years, which was a pretty amazing track record. I'm blown away to say that in our case, in 3 years, he's taken us into 72 countries. So that's because he says our aim is to make Neumi the most field-driven, responsive company in the industry, and that's been the way we've been operating. So let's talk about our Science and Medical Advisory Board. I love the fact that we have an unpaid voluntary board of medical professionals who love our product and they don't get paid. So it's not like, oh, we'll pay you something to say we're great. They're only on this board because they believe in what we do. Pretty much every kind of medical professional you could dream of is listed here. I'm going to focus on one, top left-hand corner, Doug Harrington. He was actually on the Stanford heart transplant team, an amazing gentleman. He pioneered a test called the pulse test for early heart attack detection, just a genius. And again, all of these people have used every form of nutrition delivery known to man and said nothing is effective as this or as economical. On this slide here, lots of other medical professionals. You can see their backgrounds. Have a read of that. Gordon Crozier is a good friend of mine there. Gordon has written a book on the topic of glutathione, and he's an expert in that, having helped heal himself from some amazing situations. This one here shows doctors around the world, bottom right-hand corner, Bethany Dixon. She wrote a trucker study proving that our product reduces fatigue in truck drivers and actually boosts energy levels and alertness, which is amazing. So what is this word you keep hearing of, glutathione? It's the master antioxidant of the body. I'll give you a quick science lesson. It's a protector of your cells and detoxifier. It is the key to life, health, performance, protection, and longevity of every single cell. Now, if you look at other vitamins, we take vitamin C for granted, vitamin D. There are more studies on this than those combined, and every other known ingredient known to man in terms of antioxidants. But it also recycles itself, which is unique, and recycles other antioxidants in the body as well. As I mentioned, there's more studies on this than anything else. 186,000 studies, nearly 187,000 as I checked online on PubMed this morning, which is the world's scientific study for peer-reviewed, website for peer-reviewed studies. What do the doctors say? Well, this is one great example. Dr. Oz is on television all the time. The most powerful antioxidant you've never heard of. One of the keys to fighting off disease that you fear the most. It's called glutathione. Write it down. It's important. Dr. David Katz from Yale University Prevention Center says, if you're chronically run down, if you're chronically fatigued, if your body isn't firing on all cylinders, low glutathione is probably part or the cause and the effect of that. So it's a fact that your glutathione levels will drop with age. So if you look at this slide here, if you are about 20 years of age, I remember that. You could jump a building in a single bound. I was doing crazy stuff with my mates at that age. Well, guess what? You had all this energy. That's because your glutathione levels are optimal. And look at this blue line, right? This is oxidative stress. They call the silent killer. When they cross, because they say your levels will drop 10 to 12% per decade in a healthy individual, when these two cross, it opens the doors for all sorts of nasty things. In fact, there's about 80 diseases that are proven to be linked to oxidative stress. The first line of defense in your body against oxidative stress is glutathione. So if you can boost your levels to where they were when you're 18 to 20 years of age, not only will you feel amazing, it'll also help the body to be doing what it does in its optimal sense. So what are the benefits of boosted levels of glutathione? Well, there's many things associated with an extensive levels of health performance, anti-aging benefits, including the ones on the screen you can see. Strengthened immune system, increased energy, enhanced stamina and endurance, improved exercise recovery times, greater mental clarity and focus, enhanced quality and length of life, just a few to name, just a couple. Now, the problem is, you can go guzzle down capsules full of glutathione, but the problem is it's a fragile molecule. And if you were to swallow that, it'll get destroyed via the digestive process, making it virtually useless. So that's one thing that won't work. Now, in our case, we wrap our ingredients in water clusters, which I'll explain in a minute, which gets instant absorption without actually getting through the gut. There's no need to go through the gut. Molecule size is another thing. Some products on the market say, hey, look at our amazing glutathione product. But unfortunately, the molecule of glutathione is too large to penetrate a cell, so it gets excreted from the body without being used. Now, we nanosize so that we can access the cell in a way no one else can, which I'll talk about in a minute. So normal glutathione would be like trying to get a bus through a keyhole, just impossible. Now, short half-life, what does that mean? It's a technical term around, say, glutathione intravenous, which is a great option, but there are a few $100s per IV. And unfortunately, they don't last very long. After 6 days, it's all gone into your body, and literally within hours, it's starting to deplete as well. Whereas in our case, you can top up every day, every 10 minutes, if you like. So let's talk about the innovation. The solution is Hydrostat nanotechnology, or actually as the brand is called now with our brand marks, trademarks, it is Hydrostat molecular encapsulation technology, because nanotechnology is one word, but some people will have particle sizes in the hundreds, and they don't even come close to the effectiveness of this product, which is down under 10 nanometers. So what we do is we nanosize the proven ingredients with ultra pure water clusters, purer than a hospital IV, I might add. So a product is only as effective in most cases in traditional nutrition as how much ingredients they pump more and more and more and more and more in, hoping that it'll get in. But as you can see here, just with that little example, when they're too big, they won't absorb. When we nano size, they can. Let's talk about cell size. Now, our ingredients are down between 10 nanometers and 100. Now, if you have an ingredient, and some people will use liposomals, for example, which is lipids with fats, and fats attract toxins. But if you're talking about lipids, they're usually 65 nanometers or a couple of hundred nanometers. Now, you need to be under 30 nanometers to penetrate the blood-brain barrier, so none of those do, right? If you get under 10 nanometers, you can absorb into a human cell. Again, none of those do. So in our case, we have a different way of doing things, and you can see just with that visual, the difference is size. So size does matter. The smaller, the better. Let's talk about how you absorb nutrition, okay? So the surface area is where you're going to have access. So our cells only absorb the section of a molecule that it can touch, as you can see on the screen. Now, when we nanosize, it means that we can have up to 200 times greater surface contact, and that's why we have such amazing results with these products. So we amplify proven ingredients results to be way more effective than any other delivery method. So again, we don't have to prove the ingredients, guys. They're proven. 186,000 peer-reviewed studies says you can argue until you're blue in the face. It works. What we're talking about, it is the only product with the nanoscience of hydrostat that can deliver it in the way we do. So we wrap our ingredients in water clusters to protect for absorption. And that means that before you even get to the stomach, the product has absorbed. So there's 3 levels to it, I'd like to say to people. There is what you've always heard about, which is absorption. Then there's bioavailability, and then there's a whole new level, which is cell utilization, and that's what you're looking at today. So NutraSwish was the first product that we went live with, and as you can see here, we have glutathione, that ingredient. We have cysteine, which is a building block of glutathione. So you don't just get glutathione instantly, you also get cysteine to help the body to produce more glutathione itself. You also have other ingredients like vitamin C, curcumin, which enhance the job that glutathione does. So what's the results? So you swish for 30 seconds in your mouth, then swallow. Some of the boxers winning their fights worldwide, they swish and spit it out. You can do whatever you like because you're absorbing them before you swallow. But they're looking at immune boost, joint support, cognitive health, clean, sustained energy, rapid recovery. And again, don't take my word for it. I love sports testimonials. These people are at their optimal already. This is a friend of mine from Sunshine Coast in Australia, Natalie Jenkinson. She was a judo Olympian and also 4 times Australian women's boxing champion. She said, and she was very skeptical, she said the very first thing I noticed on day 1 was when I swished was I slept so well. And if that was it, that was great. But after day 13, I was clear and training better than I had in years. And it gave me back the endurance and recovery I had in my elite fighting years. Now, sometimes people watch that and they say, that's lovely. But Michael, she probably eats hamburgers all day. I eat clean and green, so I won't experience the same. Well, don't want to burst your bubble, but check this out. This is Alexander Glover. He's a vegan triathlete. Nothing enters his body that isn't clean and green. But he immediately noticed the product was in his body from day 1. Amazing focus and brain clarity, which is a very common first notice that people see. After 4 days, he had a tremendous increase in energy, which he found a disinterest in his coffee. And after a week, his muscle strength and running speed became more noticeable. And then his recovery was speedy as well. Stay tuned. My son, who was a powerlifter, has been going back on the product again and immediately said his recovery is so fast, and we're going to get some testimonials from him as well. So Neumi Skin, let's talk about that. Using hydrostat nanotechnology, we've nano-sized all the previous ingredients, but also other ones. Hyaluronic acid, which plumps the skin with moisture, curcumin, collagen, like the springs in your mattress. So we deliver that particle size spraying on your face. And what it means is that it can help reduce the appearance of pore size, lifts and firms the skin, reduces the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, smooths the skin, brightens an even skin tone, and fights skin aging pollutants. Now, before I go into this one, I want to say this. I'm 56 and I know I have fantastic skin. I've been lucky enough to be the guinea pig from 6 years ago with the very first spray. I can tell you this stuff over time. You don't become Benjamin Button, but you do get to the point where your skin is at its optimal. So let's check some of these out. This was the very first crash test we had, which I was going to say dummy, but she's not. She's a very intelligent lady. This is Sherry, friend of mine from the US. And you can see the before and afters. I remember saying to Steve, our founder, you have to have photoshopped that. And then, of course, the more I've seen, I've realized, no, not at all. In fact, she looks even younger now than on the photographs. And that was just 7 weeks. Here is an esthetician / beauty therapist in Latin America, 8 days. You can see how bright her skin is and the pore size. This is our founder, Steve. You can see the difference in the brightness of his skin. This is a young person. You can see that their skin has cleared up. So it doesn't matter what age, you're going to get benefits. That was 2 weeks. All kinds of cultures of skin, of course, African American. This is actually a Nigerian lady, for example, 4 weeks. This is a friend of mine, a friend of mine. My friend is a skincare educator worldwide. And she said, I couldn't really notice the difference till we compared the photographs. And when they put them side by side, it's like, wow. So you can see the brightness in the skin and the color. You can also see around her neck. She didn't lose any weight, but it tightened it up, which is amazing. And of course, people love getting rid of their turkey necks, which you can see an example here of that as well. Then we took the technology and we went into a brand new space, which is women's health. Okay. Again, proven ingredients, peony, chasteberry, donquai, maca, ashwagandha, lots of other ingredients. What does it do? Cramp relief, increased libido, minimized hot flashes, in mood improvement, decreased bloating, hormone balance. Who doesn't want this? Improved sleep, natural energy. Now, this product is actually currently available only in the USA, Canada, and Mexico, but eventually will go worldwide. Getting quality ingredients for this has been the biggest challenge for us. Once the proven ingredients are in, though, the results on this product are amazing. In fact, we had a double-blind placebo-controlled test that eliminates any opinions and says, hey, this woman said it was 80% of the women had positive effects and there was placebos. There was only one lady I remember. She said, I didn't notice anything. And then we looked at it. Oh, you're on the placebo. That makes sense. So I know it sounds crazy. Every time I have a hot flash, I swish, it stops, right? 55-year-old. My body's no longer at war with itself, 32-year-old. For the first time in 6 years, I can sleep under my covers, 53-year-old. So that was the result of the double-blind placebo-controlled test. What's happening now, and it's not just coming soon, this is the next product we just rolled out. It is live right now in the USA and Canada, and now also Australia and New Zealand and certain parts of Latin America. And of course, we're actually going to be launching into Europe in about September, October, I'm told. Now, this is just a small list of the ingredients. And again, if you just pick a couple there, magnesium gluconate, L-theanine, all L-theanine, one of them that I know not listed there, but it is in the product, ginkgo biloba, I've known for years it's great for your health. The difference is it's great for your brain, but we deliver it so nano-sized that we get access to the human cell in a way nothing else does. The results on this are amazing. We, in fact, had Dr. David Larson, who is head of the American Brain Council, recently endorsed this product and said it's amazing. That what they're seeing in cognitive improvement is off the charts. So we're talking about enhanced memory, improved mood, increased focus, rapid energy, and heightened cognitive performance, which is the biggest key. So this is live, as I said, in certain countries around the world. Check with the person who invited you today. Execution. What ways could we have got this product to the world? Well, Steve Scott was the biggest influencer in the world in infomercial TV. We could have gone that way. We chose not to because Steve said, I've spent millions of dollars in TV advertising, but nothing goes back to the people. We instead chose the home-based business, network marketing, direct selling, whatever name we want to give it, industry, which, by the way, is twice as old as I am. I'm 56 and the industry is twice my age. Right? It has evolved over the years. When I was 5 years old, my mum was an Avon lady getting bitten by dogs, knocking on doors. We don't do that sort of stuff. It's a very different model these days with lots of online support tools for you. But we are now in 72 countries and 165,000 plus members after 3 short years. And you can see post-COVID, the industry took off like a rocket. Why is that? Everyone's looking for opportunities because nobody feels secure in their jobs anymore. And so looking for a side gig or a way to replace their income. We don't believe in membership fees. we think it's a rort. A lot of companies charge you for a membership fee, but they don't send you anything. It's just a membership fee. So we eliminated them completely, but we give away for free lots of things. A personal development program from Steve that sells for $400, given to you for free. It's called Master Strategies of Super Achievers. He sold billions. If you want to be a billionaire, take one to lunch. Neumi Fit. We have a program worth a couple $100 managed by our Neumi Fit coach, Amber Brand. You access that for free. And finally, we also have a travel platform, because we could see in the home-based business industry, there's lots of Me Too, everyone's doing it, every man and his dog selling travel platforms, and they charge about $1,000 a year for them. We give the same exact mirrored, duplicated platform for free. Okay, let's talk about tools. Our founder, I love it. He said, you know what? Let's give our members everything they need to succeed. So a lot of companies charge for apps and tools. We give ours away. In fact, we just upgraded to what we call the Neumi Command Center, which is way better than any app in the entire industry. And it costs us 5 times as much to give it away, but we still give it away. So it manages your entire business from the palm of your hand. You can be anywhere in the world and you can duplicate it. It tells you when they've received the video, when they open it, if they send it on to friends, everything you could possibly know. We also have Facebook groups. You may see groups out there with all sorts of names. Just know the only pages, the only company-run pages that are run by the company and not for a specific curated team is Neumi New You. If you want to see some more testimonials, before and after photographs, live stream interviews, go in there and you'll see them straight after the event. You need to say who invited you and agree to group rules, or it won't let you in. Similarly, once you become a member, we have a specific group for trainings, announcements, and a community called Neumi Members. And again, you'll need your member number and you need to agree to group rules to get into that one. Finally, we have a guarantee. We're so confident in our products that if you buy it and you try it and you go, I don't even like it, well, you get your money back. We also have hassle-free subscriptions. So you can cancel any time, you can set up an automatic subscription. And as I said, after 30 days, you don't like it, get your money back. There's nothing at risk. You can't risk anything. Who would like to hear about free product? I love free product. So here's your purchase options. If you want to dip your toe in the water, buy a couple of products, one of each. Now there's 4 in the range around the world, depending where you're at, but just pick a couple. That's an essential kit. That'll be $100, which saves you $30 off the retail price. If you want to get more product, well, a quarterly pack, you'll get a 7th bottle for free, saving you $155. If you get a lifestyle pack, which is $500, you get 12 bottles of product, giving you a saving of $280. And if you go all the way to the other end, if you got yourself a bundle pack, well, that will save you $625, which is a pretty big bargain. So you got all those getting started options. That leads me to the compensation plan. So really simple, our compensation plan has $1 equals a point. So there's no dilution of funds, there's no PV/BV ratios. And I can tell you confidently, we pay 55 cents in the dollar, the actual dollar, where most companies in the industry are paying between 27 cents and 38 because they disguise it with BV ratios. We have weekly payouts, which means when you join, anyone you sponsor, that's an industry term, anyone you introduce for the layman, you will earn 25% on anything they purchase. So if Phoebe, that I'm looking at right now, became a customer and bought a couple of products, $25. If, say, Jackie, that I'm looking at, became a member, bought a $1,000 pack, you get $250. If Phoebe buys ongoing for the next 10 years, you'll keep getting $25. But here's the power in this model. Who does Phoebe know? Or who does Jackie know that you don't know? Well, as your business grows, you can earn 6 more levels or 6 more generations through they know, with 3% on each of them, which is very lucrative. This is in the weekly commission. So we pay a total payout on the weekly side of 43%. We pay out more than 56 in total, sorry, more than 55 in total when you take into consideration the monthly commissions. And I might add, we do not include the incentive trips and extra promotions in this. Most companies include those in their 27% projection. We don't include that. So we're paying way more than everyone. So when we're talking about monthly commissions, the first monthly commission is a simple getting started roadmap. What it says is you can earn up to $1,500 from this bonus. And what do? Basic baby step. Introduce 3 people who become members and purchase 100 points or $100. You'll earn a $50 bonus on top of all the other bonuses. Teach the baby step. Help those three find three. Anyone can do that. You'll earn 250 instead once you've ranked up as a senior member. Then help 3.3 at the next stage, and then you can earn 1,500. Now, what I love is you could introduce someone who hits the $1,500 before you do because they might not have the right structure in place. So anyone can get in last and earn more than everyone before them. And I think that's fair. Let's talk about the monthly bonuses in the uni level and the infinity. Members automatically receive 7% 3 levels deep in this 7-level plan on the monthly commissions. And once they rank advance to higher ranks, which I'll talk about in a second, you can earn up to 7 levels deep. Once we get beyond those levels, those leadership levels, we pay out from level 8 to infinity. And I mean infinity, 1 million people deep. If that's the case, you can earn a bonus as a diamond, 0.5% with a cap of 2,500 a month. We double that at double diamond. We then double it again at triple diamond. And finally, as a crown, you can earn up to 15,000 from this one-off bonus, not total bonuses, just the one-off bonus. To make that make more sense, have a look at this table. Again, there is a longer presentation you can watch to understand this, but just briefly today, when you're a member, you can see you qualify for 3 levels. When you grow your business bigger, you can qualify for 4, and it continues to go as you go down, and you can see where it fits in. So it's all about structuring your business for profit. So the final bonus is our monthly leadership bonus pool. So we put 6% of sales away to the side every month, and then we share a profit sharing pool with anyone from 2-star and above. So 1% of all the sales of monthly turnover goes in there. And if you're a 2-star, you'll share with all the 2-stars worldwide. And as you can see, when you become a 3-star, there's another pool to share in all the way through to crown. So this is a very lucrative part of the compensation plan as well. So as we wrap up, right on 28 minutes on my record, I want to ask you this question. Are you ready to get started? If so, text the person who sent you this and say, hey, I'm ready to get started. Text them an A. If, on the other hand, you want more information, the app we have can send you every single question you could possibly answer. Someone's got a video for that, and they could send it to you. So text a B to the person who invited you. Or if you just want to try the product, text a C, and the rest is all there.